friends, welcome to Anna's Violets. Today I'm here with this wonderful plant, orchid, and in particular this is Cymbidium. But today's topic is what to do with any plant that we just buy and bring from a greenhouse or a garden center or just a random store into our homes. If you're for the first time on my channel, please subscribe. Make sure you hit on the bell button to be notified of any new videos that I post, and let's grow together. Okay, and so today you can see here this wonderful new plant that I just bought 2 days ago. And what I've done, and I want to show you step by step what I usually do to grow healthy and wonderful plants. So first of all, let's say, don't think that it's only about orchids, let's say it's any plant. Well, first of all, the ideal version is that when you bring a new plant home, just try to keep it separate from all other plants that you have. And try to observe for a couple of days. If you have some insects, if some diseases come out, you will just notice if something goes wrong. And if you put immediately your plant together with your other plants, if there is something wrong, if there is a disease or if there is an insect, you're going to have a problem with all of your plants, because usually the insects can fly, can crawl, can jump, and usually they can spread very easily in your place with your plants. And also you want to make sure, of course, that you choose a healthy plant from a greenhouse or a garden center. And sometimes it's not even possible, because in a greenhouse, in a garden center where it's big, it's warm, it's moist, sometimes even a very good greenhouse or garden center, for example my favorite one as well, they sometimes have some insects here and there. So even the plant is healthy, but just the environment where they are, this humid and really warm environment is also a very nice place for some insects to live there. So we want to make sure we choose a healthy plant. Second, when we bring home, we put it separately from our plants. But sometimes we don't even have this opportunity. Sometimes we don't have a separate room where there are no plants at all. Or for example, like in my place, for example, there are plants everywhere, hanging from the ceiling, everywhere, on the balcony, on all rooms, even in the kitchen. So what I have done, I've tried to first of all see if there are no flies or whatever when I was choosing the plant. So I didn't notice anything flying or moving, even though cymbidiums very often come with snails. So I was just trying to see what's on the surface, and unfortunately the pot is not transparent, so I couldn't see the roots, but I tried to make sure that the whole plant is healthy. Now for these 2 days it was standing just like this with this plastic cover, so to say, because I just wanted the plant to get used to my environment, my conditions, and my temperature, just to get accustomed to it. Just another tip when you choose, I've said this in many of my videos, but I just want to make sure once again. So when you choose a plant, try to pay attention to the roots, to the stems, to the leaves, to the flowers, and to the flower spikes. So as a whole, the plant should look really healthy, which I have here. We just remove this like this, cutting them through. We just cut it till the bottom. And look at this wonderful plant. It's a gorgeous plant. So if you bring a new plant and your plant is not blooming, try to repot it in a fresh soil, because sometimes they're in turf, they're coming from greenhouses, and the mixture, the soil is not the real proper one for a particular plant that you are buying. But if your plant is flowering, for example in this case, I would prefer keeping it as it is until the flowers are gone, and then I will repot it. But in this case, I see here some roots just on the surface, and we all know that cymbidiums do not have aerial roots, so this pot is particularly is really small for this one, and the roots should be in the soil, otherwise they will get dry and they will not grow anymore. And I can see also that this pot seems to be a little bit small for this kind of a plant, and even though it's blooming, I will try to repot it now, because first of all I want to change the medium, I want to see the roots, and I want to make sure that my plant will be able to grow and that all the buds will actually open and I will have a healthy plant. Alright, the next what you want to do, if you don't have a separate place, wash your plants. Yes, even though it's in flowers, but I'm going to wash it, trying to not to put the water on the flowers, spikes, but still I will need to wash it to just remove any dust, maybe any insects or just anything, just to keep the plant healthy is a key to success. So I'm going to take my plant to the sink. I'm going to wash all the leaves, all the stems, and pour water here to make the soil a little bit moist, and then I will come back to you. So my dears, I washed the plant and you can see that it looks even so much prettier. Of course, here and there the water fell on the flowers, but it's okay, nothing will happen. What I wanted to say, how to wash it, so I just turn it to the side and I used a little bit of soap water to wash all the leaves just like this, and then I rinsed it, of course. And now the soil is a little bit moist too. The next step, what I'm going to do, I'm going to take the plant out of this pot to remove all the soil, to rinse the roots, and then repot it here. I'm going to repot it in this plastic pot that has proper holes here. So how to take the plant out of the pot easily? You just squeeze the plastic pot as much as possible. Now I can feel that there's so many roots that I cannot even properly squeeze the pot. Other thing that you can do is just to pull from the sides. If it's also not working, which is in my case, I'm going just to cut the plastic pot, trying of course not to damage the roots. All right, let's see if it will come out now. Yes, you can see the roots here. This is just amazing, but the thing is that there's almost no soil here. Unbelievable. Well, I mean, there's nothing even to remove. I will just, this moss. Wow. And then there's nothing even in the bottom. It's just roots and a hole here. Yeah, that's really interesting. With cymbidiums, you just plant them in a soil, and after 2 years, when you want to repot them, the soil is gone. They are eating it. All right, I'm going to rinse the roots under the sink, and let's see if I will have a little bit more soil coming out of it. I'll be back. All right, so we are back. I must say that the roots are just wonderful. They're all healthy. I couldn't find any rotten root, but it was really hard to remove all the medium because it's just inside the roots, and I will need to, to break the roots apart to remove this small parts of the medium. And so I didn't want to really damage the roots even more, but I will just leave them just like it is. The roots on the top are green. You don't need to remove these roots. It just means that the top layer of the roots, like the top roots were above the surface of the soil, they were just exposed to the sun and light, and so they started to photosynthesize. But this is not bad. Now that we are repotting it, we will put it a little bit deeper, and then the problem will be solved. They will continue to grow perfectly. And so I'm going to put a layer of this just at the bottom. I'm going to put another layer of sphagnum moss here because cymbidiums just prefer a little bit more moisture than, for example, other orchids, for example, phalaenopsis. And I'm going to see if the height is good enough. Well, all the roots should be inside the medium. So they're in the center because I see growth from all sides for now. And yeah, for now, for the coming 2 years, just sitting in the middle of the pot, it will be really, really well. And I want to put just another layer, at the bottom because it's going to keep it moist. I'll just put the medium just until the very top. Sometimes I will also put a little bit of sphagnum moss here and there. Let's continue. So our plant is ready. What I forgot to tell you before I started planting is that you should try to fill all the holes in between the roots with the medium, but this doesn't mean that you really need to push it hard, because then you can damage the roots. But just try to make it really gentle. So as you can see here, there are no air pockets here, and this is very important. And sphagnum moss will also help to keep the moisture inside. Here I see a little bit that I need to put a little bit more. All right. And now our plant can go to its permanent place. I'm going to water it for the first time really well. I'm going to maybe put even the water and leave it for maybe 10 minutes because my medium was really dry. But all the next times I will be just normally watering as all cymbidiums. So now it's ready. You can see that it looks even so much prettier and so much, it just as if it's a totally different plant. It looks just gorgeous in this bigger pot. It has place to grow from all the sides, and it just looks so much better. If you like this video, please click on the like button. Make sure you subscribe to my video and click on the bell button to be notified about my all other videos that I'm going to post. And stay patient about plants. See you next time.